I appreciate it.
Anyone that could be on some of the teams he was on and have the success he had and was a two-time back-to-back MVP, which is unheard of at the point guard position unless your name is Magic Johnson. So I think Steve Nash definitely belongs number 6. Number 5, Nate Archibald. I've always been a huge fan of his, and he also was one of those rare point guards that was also a scorer. And in his 3rd season, he led the league in scoring and assists in the same season. So to me, that's very impressive. And he was his nickname was Tiny. He was a little guy. He was only 150 pounds. Jesus. I weigh 30 pounds more than him. I think we were the same height. It makes me depressed. Mm-hmm. Number 4, one of the greatest Celtics of all time, Bob Cousy. And I don't think anyone who's an NBA fan could say they haven't seen that video, that old black and white video of him dribbling the ball out to win the championship on his final season, his final game in Boston. That's just... He was one of the greatest on one of the greatest teams during that era.
Does it matter to you that he never used his left hand?
No.
Okay.
Especially because you've seen Blue Chips, right, with Nick Nolte?
Yeah.
He was an old man, and he was just nailing those free throws, man. See, why can't young players learn that shit? I'm not going to get into that.
We're not going to. We've debated
Number
it.
3, Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
He was a proven champion and just one of the greatest evers. Number 2 is Oscar Robertson. I don't think anyone could argue that. He is easily one of the best basketball players ever in any position. He was just amazing. And number 1, the easiest number 1 I think on any list is Magic Johnson.
It has to be.
Yeah.
The real crime of Magic's career is that it ended prematurely.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
only if he ended prematurely, maybe when I got HIV.
Oh man,
I know that was a rough one. I'm sorry. I love Magic. I was so bad.
That's so harsh.
Okay, I was a hardcore Celtic fan and owned a pair of Magic Johnson sneakers.
That is so harsh. I can't. Oh wow.
I know.
That's harsh even for you, because sometimes, everyone says that I'm the one that says things like rough.
Oh, come on. Everyone knows that when there's a line to cross, I'm the one to take the largest leap.
Okay. All right, so
what's your list?
You ready for my 10?
Yes.
Because I honestly, I have a couple more, at least. I have one current player more than you do, and another one that I don't think really gets the credit that he does for his career. Mm-hmm. But my number 10 is Walt Frazier.
Okay.
That's a stretch. I didn't think that putting together a list of the top 10 point guards would be as hard as it was.
It's tough. There were a lot of great point guards.
Well, there's only a few really great ones. There's a lot of good ones. Like Tim Hardaway, I toyed with putting on my list.
Really?
He's not a true point guard. He could score as well, but that plays into it. You know what I mean? We're not talking about our top 10 assist guys. We're talking about top 10 players to ever play the position.
Exactly, and I don't think he's anywhere near a top 10.
Well, that's where we differ.
He had the crossover. That was about it. I did learn my crossover from him.
Number 9 to me was Mark Jackson. I think that he was a phenomenal, efficient point guard.
Interesting.
Number 8, Nate Archibald. Number 7, Steve Nash. Okay. Mm-hmm. Number 6, Tony Parker.
I toyed with him going on my list as well.
I don't have any problem having him this high on this list. He has played at such a high level and is continuing to do it even as he approaches his Social Security eligibility. I think that's right where he belongs. Number 5, I have Jason Kidd. Number 4, I have Isaiah Thomas. I think Isaiah gets so watered down because of his front office and coaching fiascos.
Oh, his after NBA life has been disastrous.
He has made people totally forget about the player he was. Completely. Number 3 for me, John Stockton. Tenacious defender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had Karl Malone to pass to, but Magic had Kareem Worthy and a bunch of other good players too, so you can't really hold it against him in my eyes. In my opinion. Number 2, Oscar Robertson. And number 1, Earvin Magic Johnson.
I think 1 and 2 are going to be... I don't foresee any player in the near future or in the distant future coming close to surpassing 1 and 2.
I'll tell you what. I don't think anybody will ever be a better point guard than Magic Johnson.
Nope, never.
Okay? But as far as everything under that, if there's one player playing today that I think could, if he stays healthy, reach that level over the long term, is Russell Westbrook.
See, okay, now that's talking crazy.
What? It's too early. I'm not telling. He's not on this list now. But
that's crazy talk.
From that position, he may be a one that plays like a 2, but that's not what we talked about. We talked about the best players that play the point guard position, and he is a point guard. He may not be a traditional point guard. He may not be a pure passing point guard, but he's a point guard, and that was
you give him way too much credit for his abilities. Way too much.
I really don't think so.
Way too much, especially Oscar. I mean, Oscar Robertson was one of the greatest players in history.
Absolutely.
There's no, I mean, even at his point in his career right now, Westbrook, you might be able to say, yeah, he was a great player, but he's already proven that there are certain players that you can tell within the first couple years of their career that they're going to be just massive, unbelievable superstars that will be considered in the pantheon of the greats. And I don't see him ever at that position. Like I said, he has potential of being someone good or someone that you might even say very good. But when you put him up to someone like Oscar Robertson, it's like, I don't know about that. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm looking at my stats here. I'm not saying that he definitely will. I say there's one player playing today that possibly could.
I mean, this is the argument I always make for Oscar, because I've argued the Oscar Robertson thing with other people who've been fans of I've had someone tell me Allen Iverson was one of the best point guards ever. Oscar Robertson in one season averaged a triple-double. 30 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists. He averaged for an entire season.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is, I mean, honestly, I don't think any player is ever going to do that.
Oh, no, I totally agree.
And I'll never forget the part of the argument that I won on was everyone still says some of these players that used to play in the past couldn't play against players nowadays. And what I always said is the players nowadays, the players back then would be able to transition their games because the NBA has changed since then, but to my opinion, changed for the worse because now you have a three-point line, which they didn't have then. So you have more of an opportunity to score. You have ticky-tack fouls now, which you didn't have then. Then you can get smacked in the face and they won't call anything. So some of these players that played in the past that had to fight through just crazy fouls and having to get, I mean, to average 30 points without a three-point line is crazy. No, I mean, it's insane to think that. You get some of these players playing nowadays go back then, there's no way they would put up the numbers they're putting up now because unless they were able to transition their game to something a little more, I'm not going to use the term manly, but something not as wussy as it is nowadays.
No homo.
I didn't want to say that.
I had to.
Saying that. I thought it might be too early.
No, look, you know what? And the bottom line, before we go to a break, because we got the Fantasy Greek coming on
nice.
at 11 o'clock. My official position on the Roy Hibbert thing was that it was completely blown out of proportion. And if he had made the comment, no homo because gays come straight from Satan, yes, he's wrong and he needs to be chastised. But by making a joke like that, I think everyone just needs to relax and take it for what it is. And maybe I'm only saying that because I'm not gay, but that's just my feeling. Everyone just needs to relax in life.
Well, his agent needs to slap him in the head and say, do not ever quote, it was Lil Wayne, right? I think is who he was, that no homo line.
I have no idea.
It was. I want to say it was a rapper from some song, and I want to say it was Lil Wayne. It's don't ever quote Lil Wayne. Like, do not quote a rapper or hip hop artist to the press, because chances are it's gonna sound stupid, or you're gonna get in trouble.
Sounds like sound advice to me.
It's Caucasian advice. I know it sounds bad, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that. We're going to go to break. You're listening to 87's
I'm Caucasian.
You're listening to 87 Live on 87 Sports Fans Radio. When we come back, the Fantasy Greek Jim Sarantias will join us to bounce around the NFL.